Jay, your proposal comes amidst lawmakers in Jefferson City actually looking to broaden college access, perhaps in the other direction for six-figure income families. Can you sort of put your proposal in the context of what's happening down there?
Well, first of all, I think that we have the right priorities here, making sure that middle-class students have a pathway to a four-year college education, tuition-free, targets the resources we have. This program we have would cost about $61 million. That money is available, and it should be expended to invest in the future of our state through these kids. As far as the changes to Access Missouri, I mean, my challenges there are twofold. First of all, moving the eligibility up to, a couple $100,000 a year, I think leaves a huge swath of middle class, and secondarily moving significant amounts of those dollars out of public education and into grants over into private colleges, I think also takes the scarce resources we have as a state and limits their power. So on those two fronts, I think the Missouri Promise is much stronger for middle class. It guarantees tuition free for kids that work hard, play by the rules, and I think that's a much better plan with the resources we have in the state.
If I can follow up, why require a community college prior to participation as opposed to going right into a four-year program?
Well, the A+ program it has been very good for the state of Missouri. Expanding it to make sure it covers all kids that are eligible across the state is a key part of this program. A+ and community colleges are oftentimes, especially for middle class, the first step into higher education. And we wanted to make sure that that first step was a broad step and that it was one that covered in that situation. Because of the limitations on finances, you have to set up what you can do affordably. We think this pathway, that any kid that works hard and plays by the rule, keeps a B average, can graduate after 4 years tuition free, is the right first strong, bold step to take.
Where will the money come from to pay for this program?
This money is in the budget. The money is available at the state level to do this. This year's budget, as everyone knows, increased by over $900 million. It's a question of priorities. If the legislature can find $95 million for one tax break for one guy, they can certainly find $61 million to invest in a broad-based project for kids for the future of the state.
Would you repeal that tax credit in order to pay for this program?
This year's budget had over $900 million additional funds. Next year's budget will also have growth. This program will be a part of my first budget address, and we'll put legislation in to implement this. We will find the resources in the budget with our priorities to make it work.
What kind of support are you getting in Jefferson City for this program?
I think it's going to be a strong support. Obviously, you're near the end of a legislative session. We've been disappointed that they haven't had a broad-based support when it comes to affordability. I was very disappointed, as everybody here knows, that they decided to sell away the Student Higher Education Loan Authority and cash out this power that can be used for keeping debt away. I expect that next year when this is introduced, it will have a broad-based bipartisan support. The A+ program has been very popular. Expanding on it and stacking on top of it a pathway to a four-year education. It's not about whether you're a Democrat or Republican. It's about what's right and wrong, and this is clearly a pathway for human capital to be built in the state, and I expect broad support.
Representative Zweifel, as said in your release, has proposed this bill, correct? A lot of these ideas in a bill, but it hasn't found any traction in the legislature. If, again, I ask you this often, but if the legislature is of the same political persuasion as it is now, how are you going to get this passed?
We're going to have a different governor.
But you could have a legislature that's of a different party.
Yes, I could.
So how are you going to get this passed?
We're going to have a different governor with different priorities moving forward from Missouri.
One more question?
Thank you all very much for coming. Thanks for students for being here with us.